What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Happy 4th of July to those in the US. I hope you had a great day, partied hard, and remember, if you've been drinking all day, maybe pass off the fireworks. In the meantime, it's starting to feel a little more like April 1st, or should I say April Fool's Day, with the headline breaking late this afternoon, quote, report, Robert Downey Jr. spotted driving sports cars on Captain America 4 set with the subtitle, RDJ has reportedly been spotted on the set of Marvel Studios' Captain America 4, aka Brave New World. And again, this broke late this afternoon from Covered Geekly. We're going to break down exactly what's in this article, read through it, talk about how and why this was revealed. There were a ton of ways I thought they might bring back RDJ as Iron Man before the end of the multiverse saga, and none of them included it happening this soon. We're going to break down the likely possibility that this is true, and if so, how in the world they're planning to do this. I have some ideas of what this scene may be. We're going to talk about it, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is just 3 weeks away to coincide with the finale of Secret Invasion. Again, all you gotta do be a sub. Leave a comment on this video if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so they go on to report, quote, Robert Downey Jr. was reportedly seen on the set of Marvel Studios' Captain America 4 Brave New World. Author Noir Shore took to his LinkedIn page to share a sneak peek at the Marvel Studios' Captain America set located in Washington, D.C. That's where they're currently filming, and it is confirmed. They go on to report, quote, alongside Shore's image came a detailed description of his brief interaction with one of the quote-unquote security folks working on the MCU project slated for 2024. An interaction that included details of a potential spoiler in regards to Robert Downey Jr. According to Shore's interaction with the security employee, Robert Downey Jr. was spotted driving quote-unquote supercars with others on the set of Captain America 4. They are filming Captain America 4 around the White House and near my office. I was on a quick errand walk as I noticed all the lights and equipment and finally asked one of the security folks about it. He was so talkative and nice and said, spoiler, Robert Downey Jr. was there last night and they were all driving supercars. They go on to report in this next paragraph that, quote, this seemingly isn't to be confused with his 2023 Downey's Dream Cars project. It should also be noted that Downey's Dream Cars has already premiered while Captain America 4 Brave New World is still in production last week. I'm going to be honest, guys, that was my first thought. Could they even be filming a season 2? And would they want to go back and maybe do it with some MCU members? But apparently that's not the case. Now, it's also important to mention, as they just said, it was still in production as of last week, but Captain America 4 actually reported to have wrapped. So this may have been one of the last things they shot. I know we immediately are going to think of Iron Man 2 when Robert Downey Jr. was racing in Monaco, but there's really no sense to revisit that in a flashback. Rather, Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark has a lot of history with Thunderbolt Ross, especially in the earliest parts of the MCU. They hated each other. They even used that first Marvel one-shot The Consultant with archive footage of RDJ. Coulson sends him in as a patsy to talk to Thunderbolt Ross to sort of show the tension between their two egos. If Captain America 4, as reported, is truly revisiting some of the earliest parts of the Infinity Saga, bringing a lot of these characters back from the Hulk, this may be an awesome moment in a flashback scene to retcon one or two details they need to and develop Thunderbolt Ross's storyline, considering he's going to have a lot to do during this film as now becoming the Red Hulk. Also keep in mind, from the point of view of Robert Downey Jr., number one, making it a flashback scene avoids all of the sticky mess of how are you going to bring him back. It also avoids him having to be locked in long term. It's literally a one-off from that point of view and a big payday. Way more attractive to Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Tony Stark in that capacity. But also, it would be a scene now between Harrison Ford and Robert Downey Jr. as Thunderbolt Ross and Tony Stark respectively, which, if they need a flashback scene, again, to recontextualize anything we know about Super Soldier Serum, S.H.I.E.L.D., any of the history of the MCU, I could see why, again, from Robert Downey Jr.'s point of view, that would be worth coming back. Now, keep in mind, Captain America Brave New World actually wrapped filming as of real recently, and this report via someone who was on set and talked to a security guard and then posted it to his LinkedIn does not by any means constitute an industry insider or complete proof. While I would take this with a grain of salt, this guy has no reason to lie, and in the capacity he did, definitely not posting it to LinkedIn. Rather, you would take that to Reddit and some of the subreddits if you were looking to get attention on this kind of report. I think much more the case, Robert Downey Jr. was probably actually there racing supercars. It might not be for Captain America Brave New World, but if it is, it's for a flashback. And look, I've said this many times, and we do have more theory videos coming in the next year or two of how I think Marvel could bring back Tony Stark and not have it be disappointing, but there are so many complications from doing so, especially if you do it this early. Look, if it's a hologram Tony Stark and they decide to bring him back as AI, as he was during the Ironheart story and for some parts of the Marvel comics, then you have this problem where you're paying Robert Downey Jr. money only to do voiceover work and not actually be acting in the films. Especially what we've been hearing about Marvel Studios recently, not only backing off some of the actors they wanted for the Fantastic Four because they didn't want to pay $20 million per. Keep in mind how much RDJ makes for an MCU film. We're also hearing on films like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that was originally estimated and reported to be about $200 million. They spent closer to $300 million. They are definitely trying to cut back, and so if they are downsizing in any way, bringing on an RDJ contract, even for a one-off scene in a one-off film in a Marvel movie, might not be the way to do that. It also is super complicated, again, once you bring him back in this early, because if you have a Robert Downey Jr. AI that's always around, then you have to explain when he isn't. It's very easy to have an AI in everybody's suits and everybody's ear. Now he's just part of the team, but you don't actually have a Tony Stark in the flesh. You just have him as a Jarvis voice or as a blue hologram, which again would be very disappointing. And while I do have my theories about how they could bring him back, and I think they've actually seeded Easter eggs for this throughout the Infinity Saga, that to be broken down in a different video, I'm about 50-50 on whether or not he can show up here. I think it is way too early, even in a flashback scene, to have brand new Tony Stark footage. And again, I get it. Considering what they hope to do in the future sagas, they might want to make a quick retcon here. It'll serve Captain America Brave New World, maybe set up something for Weapon X and what's going on with mutants, which we do suppose, since adamantium now has been reported multiple times to be a huge part of this film, might be something they need. And I think in that context, it would make sense, but then 50-50, maybe he just headed up there with some of his cars to rip it around with some of his MCU buddies, and right after they were finished filming on a closed set. I think that's also a possibility. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Number one, do you think it's a cameo, and do you agree if it is, it's got to be a flashback scene? Number two, do you also agree with me maybe a little too early to bring him back? And if you are okay with RDJ coming back as Tony Stark before the end of the Multiverse Saga so he can be in Secret Wars, if you have an idea of how you'd like to see him come back that wouldn't be disappointing, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll work it into one of my theories and give you a shout out. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Also, quick reminder, again, I know some of you have been drinking all day, no worries. You probably will not be there tonight, but if you are staying up to watch the third episode of Secret Invasion, also a reminder, none of us have seen it. I'm going in blind just like you guys. Come stop by the channel. We do a watch party. We go live about an hour before the show starts, 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern. We have great discourse before and after. I watch here as you watch at home. So again, if you're staying up, come by for the watch party. We are still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. The next one is in just 3 weeks to coincide with the finale of Secret Invasion. So if you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. I'll see you guys in the next video or tonight for the watch party. Peace.